Well, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we're about all things cinema. Well, I'm really excited today to share with you my thoughts on one of my absolute favorite directors of all time. In this video, I'm continuing my Taste of Directors series, and in this series, what I do is, with each video, I take a specific director and I select 3 to 4 films from her or his filmography that just give a taste of what that director has to offer. Now, of course, 3 or 4 films in most cases won't give you a complete picture of that director's work, but it at least gives you a flavor for the type of filmmaking that that director has to offer. I try to do these on a monthly basis, and last month in April, I did my Taste of Directors series video on my personal favorite director of all time, Sir Alfred Hitchcock. He is my absolute favorite all-time director. In this video for this month, I'm talking about perhaps my favorite current active director, and that's none other than Quentin Tarantino. So I'm really excited to share my thoughts on Quentin Tarantino. So without any further ado, let's jump right into this video. So in this video, I'm not doing the homemade coffee that I typically do for my Keurig. In this case, I'm doing the drive-through Starbucks caramel macchiato. Got a grande caramel macchiato here that I'm enjoying. That's actually pretty tasty. So let's talk about Tarantino. Okay, so a little bit about Quentin Tarantino. He was born in Knoxville, Tennessee in 1963, and his father was an actor and his mother was a nurse. He moved to California with his mother when he was 4 years old and grew up in LA. Quentin Tarantino gained critical acclaim as an independent filmmaker with his very first film, Reservoir Dogs, back in 1992. And then he went on to do Pulp Fiction in 1994, which won the Palme d'Or Award at the Cannes Film Festival. So Pulp Fiction also won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay for Quentin Tarantino that same year. So why is Quentin Tarantino one of my favorite directors? Well, for me, I just love his style of filmmaking. So Quentin Tarantino's films are known for their non-linear storylines and narratives, for their intense dialogue scenes, for very stylized violence, and just the way that he puts all the pieces together in terms of the non-linear narrative, the way he presents violence to the viewer in a very creative and stylized way, and just the incredibly intense scenes of dialogue that Quentin Tarantino creates with the incredible writing and the incredible actors that he is able to land for his films, how they're able to execute these scenes just flawlessly. I'm sure it's done through multiple takes, of course, but the final product is so beautifully polished and beautifully executed from a directing and an acting standpoint that those scenes are just so riveting. And they can be the most simple scene, like 2 people sitting in a diner, or 2 people sitting in a bar, or just having a conversation about something that on the surface seems like nothing, but it all of a sudden becomes a very engaging and gripping conversation, just the way it's presented through the way the dialogue is written and through the direction and through the acting. It's just absolutely brilliant directing, brilliant storytelling, brilliant acting, and it's just among the reasons why Quentin Tarantino is one of my absolute favorite directors. I also find Quentin Tarantino's takes on different genres just incredibly fascinating, whether it's crime dramas or spaghetti westerns or martial arts. I just find his takes on different genres and how he puts his spin on these genres and presents it in his own unique way. I always find that fascinating with his films. So Quentin Tarantino has written, directed, and produced 9 feature films so far, according to his count, starting with Reservoir Dogs in 1992, Pulp Fiction in 1994, Jackie Brown in 1997, Kill Bill Volume 1 in 2003, Kill Bill Volume 2 in 2004. He counts those films as one singular film. I do as well. Death Proof in 2007, Inglorious Basterds 2009, Django Unchained in 2012, The Hateful Aid in 2015, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 2019. Quentin Tarantino has stated that he will only do 10 feature films, a self-imposed limit. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what number 10 will be for Quentin Tarantino, and we'll see what happens after that. So for purposes of this discussion, I'm going to focus on 3 films from Quentin Tarantino's filmography: 1994's Pulp Fiction, 2003 and 2004's Kill Bill saga, and the 2009 film Inglorious Basterds. Of course, it's only fitting that if you're going to talk about Quentin Tarantino, you need to talk about Pulp Fiction. So just like with my Alfred Hitchcock video, I said that if you're going to talk about Hitchcock, you can talk about several of his films, but you gotta include Psycho, you gotta include Vertigo, and then whatever other films you want to include those, but you gotta talk about those two films. In the case of Quentin Tarantino, this is the film that you absolutely have to talk about of his 9 films. Now you can choose a couple of other different films if you like, but this film is considered by many to be his masterwork, and that is the 1994 film Pulp Fiction. In 1992, he released Reservoir Dogs, and that was critically acclaimed, and that started his career. But this is the film that really made Quentin Tarantino a pop culture sensation in the movie business. This is an absolutely amazing film. It stars John Travolta as Vincent Vega, Uma Thurman plays Mia Wallace, and Samuel L. Jackson plays Jules Winfield, the partner of Vincent Vega in this film. This is an absolutely amazing film. It includes several other fantastic actors you'll see here: Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Amanda Plummer, Ving Rhames, Eric Stoltz, Rosanna Arquette, Christopher Walken, Bruce Willis plays the boxer in this film. This is an absolute pop culture sensation extravaganza that came out in 1994 from Quentin Tarantino. And this is a fantastic example of the non-linear narrative storytelling approach that he applies to so many of his films. So this neo-noir, pulpy, black comedy film involves how the lives of several people get interwoven together. So you have the two hitmen who are played by John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, how their lives get connected to Uma Thurman's character, Mia Wallace, Bruce Willis's character who plays the boxer in this film, and Tim Roth and Amanda Plummer, who are playing a couple in this film who are robbing a diner. So the non-linear storytelling and the narrative that this film presents brings the lives of these people together in a very interesting, quirky, neat kind of way. And it's just so incredibly fascinating. It's tremendous storytelling, and I just absolutely love it. Pulp Fiction is a fantastic film from Quentin Tarantino. There's a reason why it won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. The writing is absolutely fantastic. The dialogue in this film is just unforgettable. There's so many scenes in this film that just have dialogue that you'll never forget, whether it's delivered by Samuel L. Jackson's character, Vincent Vega, and their conversations together, talking about all manner of pop culture topics of the day, talking about things such as cheeseburgers and the like. Vincent Vega's interactions with Uma Thurman's character, Mia Wallace, in this film are absolutely riveting. So even if you haven't seen the film, you're probably familiar with John Travolta and Uma Thurman doing the dance thing, and it's just fantastic to watch on screen. And this is just an amazing film, great storytelling from Quentin Tarantino. The screenplay is an absolute knockout, and it's a big reason why Quentin Tarantino's career really took off from this point. This is an absolutely amazing film. It is considered by many people to be his masterwork. It's called Pulp Fiction from 1994. If you haven't seen it, definitely check this one out. Okay, Pulp Fiction is an absolutely amazing film. I love Pulp Fiction. I could just watch that film over and over and over again. And there's so many incredibly memorable lines of dialogue from so many of the characters, and just the dialogue between the characters is just so incredibly riveting that you're just sitting there thinking, what's gonna happen next? I mean, it's just that absolutely captivating and riveting. And I definitely see why when you ask a lot of people, what's your favorite Quentin Tarantino film? A very common response is gonna be Pulp Fiction, and deservedly so. But if you ask me, what's my favorite Quentin Tarantino film? I'm gonna give you a slightly different answer. My favorite Quentin Tarantino film, for me, it's the Kill Bill saga. I absolutely love these two films. Now, for purposes of this video, I'm considering them one film. Quentin Tarantino also considers the Kill Bill saga, Kill Bill Volume 1 from 2003 and Kill Bill Volume 2. He considers these to be one complete film, so one saga. And I tend to agree with him. I actually have Kill Bill on my top 25 favorite films of all time, a video that I have on this channel, and I count it as one film. partly because I want to fit another film in my top 25, but I really believe that these two films should be considered a singular film. It's one cohesive story that he's put together, and I respect that. So I absolutely love these two films. Now, I will say that even though these films, I consider them to be one complete saga, I count them as one complete, almost 4-hour film, but it's important to note that these two films are very different tonally. They're consistent with each other from an overall perspective, but in terms of the tone of these films, they're very different. This film is more of a samurai, Japanese warrior type style, martial arts type film. This film is a more westernized type film. So this is the more almost traditional Japanese warrior type film inspired, and this film is sort of a more westernized take on it. They're just both incredibly fascinating films. I count them as one single epic, and I just think they're just fabulous. So Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2 from 2003 and 2004 stars Uma Thurman as the bride. She has a name. That name is bleeped out for Kill Bill Volume 1. You don't get the reveal of her name until Kill Bill Volume 2. And that's a really interesting plot device in these films. It's all those little elements like that really add to the fun of watching Kill Bill. So Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 from 2003 and 2004 stars Uma Thurman as the bride, David Carradine as Bill, Daryl Hannah as Ellie Driver, Michael Madsen as Bud, and Vivica A. Fox as Vernita Green. So this action extravaganza saga Kill Bill is heavily influenced by martial arts films, and it stars Uma Thurman as the bride who is out for revenge against those who were responsible for trying to kill her at her wedding rehearsal. So these films, Kill Bill, really exemplify the stylized violence that Quentin Tarantino is famous for in his films. I mean, heavily inspired by the martial arts films from Japan. These films are just absolutely extraordinary. Uma Thurman as the bride is just absolutely legendary in this role, and the entire cast, they really deliver in this film and just making this story so riveting and so interesting as Uma Thurman's character, the bride, goes about her quest for revenge. It's just so gripping how she deals with and encounters every character along the way, ultimately leading up to, of course, her confrontation with Bill. So this saga is just so entertaining, so riveting. This film just goes all out from an entertainment action extravaganza standpoint. It's just one of my absolute favorite films of all time, and for me, probably my favorite Quentin Tarantino film. I think this edges out Pulp Fiction just a little bit. I just love this series from Quentin Tarantino, Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. Now, it's important to note that the inspiration for Kill Bill and the Kill Bill saga comes from a film from the 1970s directed by Toshiya Fujita. And it's a film that appears in the Criterion Collection as part of the Complete Lady Snowblood. So this is Spine 790 and 791 in the Criterion Collection. This is an absolutely fantastic set that you ought to consider picking up. If you are a fan of Kill Bill, this is something that you really should consider picking up. Once you pop Lady Snowblood in your player and you start watching it, you will immediately see the parallels between it and Kill Bill, and you'll immediately pick up on just how Quentin Tarantino was able to gain influence and inspiration from this film to make Kill Bill. I mean, it's actually pretty uncanny to watch because I've been a fan of this film for years. I love Kill Bill. I love Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. And so when I finally got around to seeing the Lady Snowblood films, it just blew my mind because I realized, that's where Quentin Tarantino got inspiration for Kill Bill. It's directly from these films. These films are just amazing. I think it could be argued that they're better than Kill Bill in many ways. I would highly recommend checking this out. If you are a fan of the Kill Bill saga, if you're a fan of Quentin Tarantino, if you're just a fan of Japanese cinema in general, definitely check out The Lady Snowblood. This is a great addition from the Criterion Collection that I cannot recommend enough. And actually, if you open it up, It's got some nice disc art here from the Umbrella, the Lady Snowblood. It's also got, this is not a review of the Lady Snowblood, but I just have to show this to you. It's got this really, really nice poster in here, doing it upside down, the Lady Snowblood. So just a really, really nice picture. I just love this. I just think this is just absolutely fabulous. I love this art. And this is just a great film. Doesn't have a lot of special features on this edition from Criterion, but watching this is really a tremendous gift to yourself. If you are already a fan of Kill Bill, you will really, really appreciate it. So check it out, Lady Snowblood. So what more can I say? I mean, Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2 are among my favorite films of all time. They're definitely at the top of my list of Quentin Tarantino films, and I can't recommend them enough. This is just a great film starring Uma Thurman as the bride. And if you haven't experienced Kill Bill, do yourself a favor and check this one out. Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. Check it out. All right, so far I've talked about two of my favorite Quentin Tarantino films. I'm gonna round out this taste of Tarantino films with the last film that I'll talk about here, and this is my third favorite Quentin Tarantino film, and it is none other than the 2009 film Inglorious Basterds. This is Quentin Tarantino's World War II epic. And this is a fantastic film, starring Brad Pitt as Lieutenant Aldo Raine, Diane Kruger as Bridget von Hammersmark, and Eli Roth as Sergeant Donnie Donowitz. You also have a whole host of supporting characters, including the fantastic Christoph Waltz, who won the first of his 2 Academy Awards for Best Supporting Actor in this film. He would go on to star in another Quentin Tarantino film, Django Unchained, a few years later, and he won the Best Supporting Actor award at the Academy Awards that year as well. So he got 2 Oscars in Quentin Tarantino films, starting with 2009's Inglorious Basterds for his incredible role playing Colonel Hans Landa in this film. This movie even has Baron Zemo from Marvel in it. Daniel Bruhl plays Frederick Zoller in this film. Of course, Daniel Bruhl plays the character of Baron Zemo in the MCU films, and most recently in the Disney Plus TV series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I really love what they did with Zemo in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I really like Daniel Bruhl's portrayal of the character Frederick Zoller in this film, Inglorious Basterds. So in this World War II epic, Brad Pitt leads a group of Jewish soldiers in Nazi-occupied France to take out Nazis. They join forces with German actress and secret agent Bridget von Hammersmark to battle the Germans. Now their stories become intertwined with theater owner Shoshana Dreyfus, who is seeking revenge for the death of her family at the hands of the Nazis. This is a great example of how Quentin Tarantino takes a particular genre, such as the war film, and just puts his unique spin and stamp on it. And the way that he presents the narrative in this film and the characters and the writing, it's just so beautifully executed. And the acting in this film is just absolutely fantastic. I think Brad Pitt in this film is amazing. And when you see Christopher Waltz's performance in this film, you will definitely see why he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Just the way he was able to present his emotions and emote on the camera, and the subtleties that he brought to his performance, and those moments where he was more understated, and the moments where he presented more animation, and just the control that he brought to it, and the way that he was able to draw you into his character and make you want to know what's going to happen next, what's he going to do next, what is he thinking, is just absolutely masterclass acting at his best. And I mean, he every bit deserved that Oscar in my opinion. So his acting in this film is absolutely fantastic. I thought Brad Pitt was amazing in this film. And I think the entire cast was just so interesting and fascinating to watch in this film. And the storytelling from Quentin Tarantino is second to none. This is one of his best films. This is Inglorious Basterds from 2009. It's a fantastic war film, probably one of the best war films that you'll see in recent years. And it's got that wonderful blend of violence and humor and intense dialogue and just fantastic storytelling from great actors that make this movie an absolutely knockout film with a compelling narrative, an interesting story. You're wondering what's gonna happen next. So do yourself a favor and check this one out. I think you'll like it. Inglorious Basterds from 2009. Check it out. All right, so there you have it. That's a taste of Quentin Tarantino films. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Quentin Tarantino films? Are you a fan of Quentin Tarantino? If so, what are your favorite films from Quentin Tarantino? Now, I talked about 3 films from Tarantino today. I talked about Pulp Fiction, I talked about Kill Bill Saga, and I talked about Inglorious Basterds. But I'm a fan of almost all of Quentin Tarantino's films. Of course, most recently, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out. I like this film. I was a little bit disappointed with it, but overall, this is a good film from Quentin Tarantino, and I really appreciated his take on Hollywood in the late 1960s, and I thought the story was pretty interesting. This is The Hateful Aid from 2015. This is probably my least favorite of his films, but still has some riveting scenes in it, but not my favorite Tarantino film. Django Unchained from 2012, starring Jamie Foxx and Christoph Waltz, for which he won an Oscar for this role as well. Great film. Also has Leonardo DiCaprio in it. This is an amazing film. And of course, Jackie Brown. This is a really, really nice film. This is also one of my favorites from Tarantino. I really love the soul of this film. And I love that Pam Grier's in it. Of course, you've got Samuel Jackson in here as well. You've got Robert Forster. I love Jackie Brown. This film might be in the number 4 or number 5 slot for me of my favorite Tarantino films. So this is a great film as well. But I just love Quentin Tarantino's films. I'm looking forward to seeing what his 10th film will be. So we'll see what happens with that. And if there are any future films from Quentin Tarantino after that, or does he stick with only doing 10 feature films? We'll find out. Let me know in the comments below, what films are you most looking forward to seeing this year in 2021? I'm looking forward to seeing A Quiet Place Part 2, which is coming out pretty soon. And I'm also looking forward to seeing F9, the new Fast and Furious film. That's gonna be a very interesting action film as always. And I do wanna see the James Bond film, No Time to Die, when that comes out later this year, as well as the Matrix film that I believe is coming out later this year. But let me know in the comments below, what films are you most looking forward to seeing this year? Let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time with the movies. Peace.